Hey, this is Roger Adams, white hat burglar, wearing my black hat today, lock aficionado, licensed locksmith, and author of the Burglar's Blueprint. Welcome to Total Home Lockdown. I thought I'd just take a moment here and give you an introduction into what you are about to learn and where it came from. If you've read my book, The Burglar's Blueprint, then you know that there are 5 methods to get into any home, apartment, office, or business. Those 5 methods are lock picking, lock bumping, lock bypass, unauthorized duplicate keys, and forced entry. If you've read my book, you know that it can be as simple as someone at your office taking a photo with their phone of your key, and now they can enter your home anytime they want because they can have your key mailed to their house as a duplicate and you would never even know it. As a locksmith, a big part of my job has been to go to people's homes and open their locked doors. And I do that with lock picks, with electronic lock picks and manual pick guns. I've used bypass tools and forced entry tools. And I wanted for myself a way to systematically block and defend against all of these methods that I use as a locksmith and white hat burglar to get into people's homes. And so I began to ask myself, well, if I went to this person's house and they had this on their door or they used this type of lock, how would I get inside? Well, what if they have this? What if they have that? And I kept asking this question over and over and over again until I couldn't figure out a way to get inside. And from that, I was able to develop a method that would systematically block and defend against the 5 methods of entry of lockpicking, bumping, bypass, duplicate keys, and forced entry. And I began to implement that first for myself. This is the method that I developed for my own home to prevent people like me from being able to get inside. And then I began to do it for my clients, and then I began to refine the method, and now I put it in a very systematic course for anyone. Absolutely anyone can go through this method, and they can find the methods and techniques that work for them, and they can lock down their home. And some of what you're going to learn is you're going to learn to classify your doors into primary door and secondary door. Primary doors allow you to come in and out with the key. Secondary doors will not open with the key. We're going to look at sliding doors. We're going to look at French doors, patio doors. We're going to look at what to do if there's a window in your door or a window near your door. What are the options that you have? And one of the great things about this course and this method is that there's always options. There's not just one way to solve a problem. For every problem, there's at least 2 different ways to solve the problem. And my job as your instructor is to show you all the different ways you can use to implement the system. And then you decide whether you're renting, whether you're owning, what you're willing to put in, what your spouse is willing to allow you to do. And there's a method for everyone. You're going to learn about primary doors and secondary doors. You're going to learn which lock I recommend or which locks I recommend, but there is one in particular that I recommend and why that's the case. And you're going to have a whole series of functions in your house. You're going to have secondary door, primary door. You're going to have a lock which you can block the key to, what I call instant lockdown at any time. If you are in your home and you suddenly find out a key is missing, someone has a key, you don't know where it is, bam, you can lock down your home instantly. And you can do it with one lock. You know, one of the main methods in this system is that we want to use one high security deadbolt to lock down our entire house. And that's how we make it affordable. And that's also how we make our home much more secure by using this primary versus secondary door methodology. We also want to have the ability to instantly change the key. And that's tied into which deadbolt we use. And you'll learn more about that under the deadbolt tab. We also want instant lockdown, so that if you find out that a key is missing, bam, you can put your house under instant lockdown. And as long as someone is home, no one can get into your house. We're going to cover sliding patio doors. We're going to cover French doors. We're going to cover about 5 different methods of creating a secondary door. We're going to look at how to lock down a sliding closet, because sometimes we have workers at home, sometimes we have family members or kids that like to snoop. So we're going to look at a very clever method of locking down your sliding closets from snoopers. We're going to look at how we can take these methods and create a panic room, that if someone does get into your house, because if you read my book, you know that I survived an attempted home evasion as a kid. And having been through that experience of having someone try to invade my house, I understand that sometimes unforeseen events occur. You could accidentally leave a door unlocked, or a key could get missing or stolen without your knowledge. And next thing you know, you've got someone either trying to get in or already in your home, and you need to have a backup plan. So we cover panic rooms, we cover sliding door closets, and pretty much anything that you need to secure your home, whether it's doors, windows, locks, keys. I tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. So it's no excuse. This is the only method designed by a professional to stop professionals. And it's the only method that seeks to block and defend against lock picking, lock bumping, lock bypass, duplicate keys, and forced entries. If you have any questions or comments, you can find my contact information under the contact tab. Please drop me a line, and let's get you down to start locking down your home.